Good day everyone! For this video, you are going to learn about the topic simple interest. Let's start. First of all, what is simple interest? Simple interest is interest calculated on the principal portion of a loan or the original contribution to a savings account. Simple interest does not compound, meaning that an account holder will only gain interest on the principal and the borrower will never have to pay interest on interest already accrued. In example, when you deposit money in a bank, the bank usually pays you for the use of your money. When you take out a loan from a bank, you have to pay the bank for the use of their money. In both cases, the money paid is called the interest. It is usually expressed as a percent. Here we shall look at the formula for simple interest. This triangle here is going to be our guide in solving for simple interest. I for interest, P for principal or initial value, R for the interest rate, and T for the time, in years. If we will relate this in real life, the principal is the amount of money deposited or borrowed, the interest rate is a percent of the principal earned or paid, and the time is the length of the time the money is deposited or borrowed.
Here is a sample problem. To compute this, let's get all the given from the problem first before we can start solving. So, the given are 1 million for the principal or initial value, 12% as the rate and will be converted to 0.12, and 2 as the time in years. Here we can see that we are looking for the interest. You can notice that the V, R, and T are next to each other, so it means we are just going to multiply them to get the interest. And then we will come up with 1 million times 0.12 times 2, and the product will be 240,000. In conclusion, Salva has to pay the bank with 240,000 pesos at the end of 2 years, and that is how you solve the interest.
Next problem is, what if the principal is missing? Using again the triangle as reference, we can easily know the formula that we're gonna be using is in finding the principal. That will be interest divided by the product of rate and time. And to avoid confusion, we'll just reuse the given from the previous problem, but this time we'll be excluding the value of P as we're going to solve for principal. So, the given are 12% as the rate and will be converted to 0.12, 2 as the time in years, and an interest of 240,000. Again, the formula for principal is interest divided by the product of rate and time. 240,000 divided by 0.12 times 2. First, we'll get the product of 0.12 and 2, which is 0.24. From that, we can now divide 240,000 and 0.24, and we'll get a quotient of 1 million. And that 1 million is the principal or initial value.
Next is, what if the rate is missing? Like from the previous formula, we will be dividing again, and our formula for the rate is interest divided by the product of principal and time. We have here again some values from the previous problem, and the given are 1 million as the principal, 2 for time in years, and an interest of 240,000. And again, our formula for the rate is interest divided by the product of principal and time. 240,000 divided by 1 million multiplied by 2. First, we'll multiply 1 million and 2, and the product is 2 million. From that, we can now divide 240,000 to 2 million, and the answer is 0.12, and that 0.12 is the rate.
From what we have learned from the previous problems, it will now be easy to identify the formula for time, and that is interest divided by the product of principal and rate. We have here again some values from the previous problem, and the given are 1 million as the principal, 0.12 for the rate, and 240,000 as interest. To solve for time, the formula is interest divided by the product of principal and rate. 240,000 divided by the product of 1 million and 0.2. First, we will multiply 1 million to 0.12 and the product is 120,000. After that, we can now divide 240,000 to 120,000 and the answer is 2. In conclusion, 2 is the time in years that we are looking for. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching and listening to our video presentation.